World is a category of existence. More precisely, Nancy says, I quote, "The world is the place of the event of existence." The world is the place of the event of existence. It is then a generic category of the sense of being. World, finally, is a category for investigation of the sense of being. And for me, world cannot be a category of the sense of being, because there is no sense of being. There is a great multiplicity of disconnected truths, but no historical destiny of all that. No great recognition of thinking is a fundamental and unsolved poetic question. For me, world is only the logical consistency of the things which appear in a local situation. There is no other possibility. Logical consistency of the things which appear in a local situation. In reality, for philosophy, world has two meanings. Either it means the source of sense, the sense of being, something like that, or else it is a simple logical figure for the visible. And these two meanings were born at the same time, because we find the two meanings in Plato, in the great founding work of Plato about the world, Timaeus. Timaeus is, as you know, a plausible narrative on the construction of the world, of the construction of the cosmos. And in this narration, Plato plays with subtlety on the two meanings of the word world. Let us look at the very end of the text. We can read all the Timaeus, but let us look at the end of the text. It's one of the rare conclusions to his dialogues in which Plato seems quite content with what he has done. It's a dialogue at the end of which Plato is very satisfied. It's not generally the case, but in Timaeus it is. And what is the end of Timaeus? I quote, "We may now say that our discourse about the nature of the universe has an end. The world has received living beings, mortal and immortal, and is fulfilled with them, and has become a visible living being containing the visible. The sensible God, who is intelligible, the greatest, best, fairest, most perfect, the one only begotten Him." A very beautiful and very mysterious text, which has visibly two meanings. First, the world, thus narrated, is in the perfection of sense. It is a sensible God, whose appearance is perfect, since it is that of the code of the intelligible God. And to the world is also a visible living being, which situates all the visible living beings. It is then a logic of the visibility. It is the second sense, a logic of the visibility, and not a perfection of sense. A logic of the visibility, a topology of the visible. A logic, if you want, of the strata of appearance. You can simply say that I take world in Plato's second sense, while Nancy had chosen the first. For me, world means for the moment nothing else than the logic of the situation which envelopes locally visible living beings. A whole, in that sense, that today the supposed unified world deprives us, the vast majority of human beings, of their visibility. The fundamental question of the world is in reality the question of names. Who receives a name in the world, in our world? It's not to begin with the question of wealth and its repartition. It's a question of knowing who is counted under its name and who is not. The whole world, which subsisted until the fall of the Berliner Wall, something like that, was in no way perfect. It was not even a presentable world. In fact, often sinister. But it was a world. There was a world because any worker from a city, any peasant of what was called the Third World, any student in revolt, had as a possibility opened up by the world itself his own political name. One belonging to the struggles of national liberation, to the working class, to the socialist camp, and so forth. The world distributed its name and inscribed them in a situation. Under the name he adopted, each one had a future, even if it was improbable or illusory. We can say that the world was the place of the names of a history that could be shared by all, even in moments of paroxysm. Today, it's a complete different situation. We are in an intervallic period in which the great majority of people do not have a name. The only name available is excluded, which is the name of he who does not have a name. The great majority of humanity counts today for nothing.